Hello and welcome everyone to our C2C podcast, that is Campus to Company podcast. In every episode, we invite an alumnus from our university PDU to share their experience of transition from campus to corporate life. For the fourth episode, it is our honor to have with us Mr. Soham Pathak, who completed his BTech in Petroleum Engineering from PDU and is now working as management consultant at KPMG Lovarkar. I, Ananya Bajoria, on behalf of FIPI PDEU Student Chapter, wholeheartedly welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Ananya. Thank you, FIPI.
So, as you said that you were secretary at FIPI back in your, so can you please share your overall experience of working at FIPI? Like, how did it shape you as a person?
Amazing. I think it's more than words here. I would say that because the main motive of this podcast is to know how can academics and my later life in the corporate world will be linked. So this link, in my understanding, is any student body. FIPI being the one. FIPI shared or served that purpose for me. So that will teach you things beyond the academics, teamwork, leadership. This thing will academics will not teach you, will not give up exposure to these things. That's where FIPI or any other student body, I don't have just bias for FIPI, but any other student body will help you shape here.
Oh, true, sir. So, currently being a management consultant, how did you reach this level of success after BTech? Like, can you share your journey of campus to company with us?
Sure. So if I frame this answer, there will be two ways to do it. First, I mean, very straightforward way is to get selected through the campus placement. In the fourth year, you will have the companies coming in, selecting you. So this is the easiest way. But any school will not guarantee 100%. If they say, it's not very correct, true or true things to say, but they cannot guarantee the 100% placement. So the thing which we as a student need to do is to reach out to the people, right alumni, people who are in the position to hire in industry. So that's how you should do this. Coming to my case, I was in the first case I mentioned. I belong to the first case which I mentioned, which is I got selected to the campus placement.
Hmm.
So I got selected here in a company called Protivity Middle East member firm. They came to the PDPU campus placement rounds, and they selected, I think, three of us. So that's how I got lucky, if I say that way.
Okay, great to know, sir. Uh, Sir, I studied your LinkedIn account last night and
Hmm.
saw
Hmm.
Six Sigma Black Belt certification. It is quite unheard of, and I would definitely like to know about it.
Sorry, Ananya, your voice was breaking.
Pardon?
Your voice. Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, I studied your LinkedIn account last night, so I saw this Six Sigma Black Belt certification. So, can you tell us more about it? What is it and have you?
Sure. So basically, Six Sigma is approach or a methodology to improve any process. It's a generic methodology which you can apply in any process you want, given that that process can be measured. you know so this Six Sigma uses statistical tools. I don't want to go much into the details or the technicalities how we do it, but it's a very phased approach. There are five phases, like we take one process. If I give you an example which you can relate, let's say student onboarding. You guys all have orientation when in the before first year after your 12th standards. So let's assume this is a process, and if you want to streamline the end-to-end process, for example, how easily student get it oriented, how easily they get the information they want, this is the process. Now, Six Sigma, it will try to reduce the time of this process from, let's say student approach a university, up to the time they got onboarded or they got the admission. So if we want to reduce the time, you can apply Six Sigma here as well. So they will know what are the problems, they will analyze the problems, they will try to find out the root cause why this happened, and after the root cause they will try to find the action plan or develop the action plan and implement that action plan. This entire process or methodology is done through a statistical approach called Six Sigma.
Okay, got it. So you are a black belt in that?
Yes, I had black belt. This is also from the college time in the last years. I think fourth year or sometime. I got placed already, so I had nothing to do. So I did this.
Okay, great to know, sir. So next question. Sir, I would like to know your take on internships, like how important they are and how they prepare you for the corporate world.
Okay, I would say. See, I mean, this is a little radical thing to say, but only one internship, if done properly, is enough in your student life.
Mm.
So I would not go with the quantity of internships,
Hmm.
but if you do all the internship with all the efforts, all the due diligence you want, then it's worthwhile. But just do not go with the numbers, because I've been in your shoes. I know how people feel. Okay, this person has 5 internships, I have only one. Doesn't matter. If you can really convince interviewer that you learned what you wanted during the internship, I think one is more than enough. But again, if you do with the right pace, right attitude, all the internships, then it's advisable. But just do not run after the quantity and deteriorate the quality.
Yes, sir. So how do they prepare you for the corporate world?
That's that's a nice question. So I think right thing to uh, you know visualize during the internship is what role you want to do after you get graduated, and try to find out the internship in that domain. I know it's very hard to say that. I mean, and it hard to do that as well, because as a petroleum engineer, people will not directly accept you in all the roles, or in all the domain they feel. So for that, first you try to get the certifications, so that you have some credentials in your CV and you can push through that. Okay, I don't have any formal experience, but I do know what the stuff I'm going to do. So give me opportunity, and I'll, I'll make best out of it. So that's how it will more help you. In nutshell, all the internship will help you, because in universities, people don't have filters. It's very candid. You are not responsible to perform something, or if you do not perform something, you are not been questioned or been accountable for that. In the corporate world, it's completely different. You are working with certain cause, you have some responsibilities, and if you don't achieve that, you are accountable for it. So that sense of accountability, the sense of responsibility, you will start getting from the internships during the college days itself. So that's how I think, in a more qualitative, I'm trying to cover more wide picture rather than going to much details there, how it will help you. Technicalities, for sure, you will get edged in the technicalities, but the more thing is about how you take the responsibility and how you manage the stress during the work. That's the main thing they will help you, internships.
Yes, yes. Good point, sir. Uh, how do you stay adaptable to the ever-evolving job market?
I think mostly two factors: reading and learning new skills. So whenever you go to market, you will start analyzing, okay, what is the trends right now, what my I have a client facing role, so I think from the client perspective, what my client wants from me, what problems they have. Based on that, I try to find out, okay, they have this problem, let's say X problem. So what are the current solutions available currently in the market? And I try to pick one of the most popular, solutions, so that if I solve that problem, I have still roads open for other clients to solve the same problems. If I go with some niche technology, niche skill set, I will be limiting myself. That's something I don't want to do. So that's a reverse engineering process. If I come back to a question, try to see what is required currently. What are the current problems in the market, in any role, any domain you go, and then go one step back. Okay, this is a problem. How can I achieve the solution for this? And for that, you will need one skill set, and that skill set you should learn.
Okay, okay. So, looking at the current scenario, we have a communication skill subject in each and every semester or alternate semester. We are well aware about the importance of such skills. I want to know your take on it.
I think one of the most important, if you lack sometimes in technicalities, But if you can convey your ideas, your thought process in very simple, elusive way, I think you won. So communication skills is one of the important in corporate world, or in, I think, any, not just the corporate, forget the corporate world for a second, in any domain of your life, it's really important.
Yeah. So our teachers are right then.
Everyone is right.
Okay. So there's an introduction to multidisciplinary study, and it is also being emphasized nowadays. Do you believe in this jack of all trades theory?
So there are two school of thoughts, but as taking the lens of a student or a new, a newly graduated person who is getting into the corporate world, I think jack of all trade is required as of this point,
Okay.
because there is so much uncertainty in the market right now. I was a petroleum engineer, you guys are petroleum engineer, but it's not certain that you will end up a job in petroleum engineering, or you may like the job. Let's say you did for a while and you will like the job. It's not certain. You may feel that right now, but after 2 3 years you might not feel. So having a jack of all, at least in the beginning 5 or let's say 10 years, I would say, of your career is required, so that you can switch into the right position, and then get in-depth knowledge of that domain, that particular area. So I think it is more advisable to be jack of all in the beginning, and later on switch to specialization.
Okay. Great point. Uh, any particular skills that you think are must-haves before entering the corporate world?
So if I let's list down the things, two buckets. One is the technical skills, and one is my other soft skills.
Soft skills, yeah.
So if I see the technical skills, the generic kind of skills required is the uh, structuring the things, structuring your ideas. Then your data analytical skills. This is required, be it any domain you go. Analytics, analysis of the data you will have is important. And rest your subject knowledge, the domain knowledge. You will go into petroleum engineering, so you should be very well equipped with the know and how of the that particular subject. If you go to some others skill set or other industry, you should be on top of the knowledge, at least at the current state. In the realm of soft skills, I think the most important, as we discussed, is the communication skills. You should, I think you must have it. And second is sense of responsibility. So when something has been delegated, given to you as a task, own it, take the responsibility for it, and go beyond. Just not stick to the things you are asked to. That is not the current requirement of employer. They want something more. If they will say do this, they will expect, okay, you did this, very good, but they will not be happy. If you go beyond that, they will see the spark in you. They will see, okay, you know
Yeah,
this
okay.
person is good beyond. Yeah, you get a brownie point, if I can say that way.
Yes. Okay. Sir, we have a question from our president that been in industry for quite a few years. Do you think opportunities for petroleum engineer students are reducing year by year? And if so, then how should one be prepared for the same?
So if I say conventional petroleum engineers, yes.
Hmm.
But if you augment this petroleum engineering with, as you say, multidisciplinary
Yes.
subjects, then the doors are open, and you can divert around the same field. Because petroleum, if I see myself as a petroleum engineer, yes, I would like to be in the energy domain.
Hmm.
I would be okay if not the petroleum very specific, but since I come from energy side, I know how the industry works, and I have the inclination toward it. But that just does not mean that I should be doing the engineer's job. Maybe I can roam around in the same field where my engineering skill sets will augment my other understanding, and I can deliver some better results. So I think for conventional or just the one area, yes, petroleum engineering is little bit phasing out, but not. I wouldn't say that it's just because the petroleum industry is declining. That's nothing like this in my understanding right now. But if we can augment this understanding of petroleum engineering with some other skill set, AI analytics, then doors are very much open for you right now as well.
Okay, okay. We are very much tensed about our future field, though. That's
Don't, don't worry. Tell me, what is the worry?
why. It's just that placements, and you don't get placements easily in the conventional field right now. You need to have additional skill set like AI and DL, ML. They are all trending right now with petroleum engineering. So you
Yeah.
ought to have.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, let's say it's it's uh, it's how the market works. I mean, earlier, before let's say 20 years, these things were not required. So back then, people were limiting to some things, but now the current phase is very transient. It's very dynamic, you know.
Hmm.
So people have to get equipped with the new things as it comes. 5, 6 months before, no one heard about ChatGPT.
Hmm.
Now we all are using it. We have application in our phones directly linking to the chat GPT. So that's dynamic. We are doing anyway. So I would say don't get tensed. There are opportunities for sure. In any point in time, there will be opportunities. It's just which opportunities are there in the market.
Next question. What advice would you give to a student who has an interview lined up?
Very broad question.
Yeah.
I think it's if it is like just 1 or 2 days before the interview, chill. Be yourself. Try to see what company does and what is the requirement for that skill set for that position you are applying, and back in the mind, start answering the question which they can ask, and try to frame the question in terms to in terms of reflecting the things in terms of, how do I say, in terms of reflecting your skill set in line with their requirement.
Mm.
So if it is petroleum engineering job, you know what type of questions is going to come, or some of the questions will be there for sure. So try to make a very good answer, which will encompass your skill set and also covers what they want from you, so that they know, yes, because in the interview you have very less time. I mean, not
Yeah.
necessarily all the interviews goes for hours and hours. Maybe it's 15-20 minutes. So in those 20 minutes, you need to show that I am the right candidate for you and what I can deliver if you will hire me.
Hmm.
So that's the only advice.
Okay. Any tips on career planning that you would give to students?
Hmm.
Like when to start, which direction would you choose?
Well, it's a again, it's a continuous process. It's just not it's not like a uh, indentation on a stone that you will plant once and you will stick to it. Never happens. So I think right from the college, back in the mind, you have this career planning things. Okay, after fourth year, or before the fourth year, I'll do this internship. I'll do this. I'll do this. These are the three certifications I want. After that, I will go to there, maybe MBA, PG. So it's there already. It will be there back in the mind. It just, I would suggest, to write it somewhere and start making a way plan. Let's say you want to do this, so how you will do it, what are the timelines, and try to fix with the timeline. If you will keep open ended things, there is nothing that you will achieve. If you will put some timelines, you may end up not achieving the timelines, but back in the mind that I need to do this. If not by this timeline, maybe next timeline. So that's the beauty of writing and attaching to given specific milestone.
Okay. Okay. Last question. Looking back, what is the one piece of advice you wish you had received when you were in this process of change from campus to company?
I think what I felt here is, um, I would say not piece of advice, but I think what I would have done more than ever is to take more responsibilities right from the college. You know, so because it's not the skill set, it's not the work you will suffer, but it's the responsibility up to some point. As you move up in the corporate world, it's the sense of responsibility which will keep you on your toes, not the work, not the things you're doing. So let's get acclimatized of being pressured, being responsible for something at the very first. That will help you in the longer run. So if I would be you, I would I would be still be active in other student bodies as well. Try to take the things which is beyond my skill set, so that I can learn, I can evolve from
Mm,
the college. Because in the college, if you do any mistakes, it's okay. No
it's a
one no one will come after you.
mm,
So it's really good platform, really good time to learn, evolve, make mistakes.
great to hear your ideas, sir. So that was all from our side. Anything you would like to say additionally or share any experience with us?
I mean, so I just like to extend this experience of mine during the interview, which is again, whatever I said is I felt and I implemented. So I'm trying to say that. So in my first interview, it was, I think, 15 minutes. My interview lasts for 15 minutes hardly, or maybe let's say 15 minutes.
Mm,
So in that 15 minutes, I prepared for last one day. I was expecting these questions will come. I was expecting, okay, they will ask this, and how will I respond? What will be the counter argument? So I had 5 6 page written. To be honest, I do write so much. So I wrote my answers. I tried to pick the right words, which is in line with the requirements, what they want, and which is I can deliver them. So that 1.5 day, 1 day preparation boils down to 15 minutes of time, which I got. So the another thing which you will face that, okay, I have so much content. How can I fix it? How can I fix this content? And summarize it in the 15 minutes of time. So that's where the censorship, the self censorship comes to help. That you don't need to say everything. Just stick to the point, elaborate the things, and try to direct the interview in the direction you want, so that you cover the right area of your skill set, which highlights you as best. And
mm,
then you can, if they ask something which is outside your skill set, you'd say, okay, I know about this, but I don't know much, but I'm open to learn.
mm. Any you want to give IPS PDU student chapter?
Nothing, to be honest. You guys are doing very good. I talk with Harsh since last 2 3 days. I know what you guys are doing, and I was in the contact with FIPA up to last two. I mean, up to, I think, 2 years back when Suchi was the president. I used to talk with the team because those were the people I have worked with directly. When I was in fourth year, they were in the first year. So post that, I lost the contact, but I would love to help the team in any way possible. Given that I share the same alma mater, same background as you guys.
We would love to have
For sure. Looking forward.
a good time. Also, a great start to your day.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a nice day as well to you, Ananya, Arth, Daksh, Harsh, and FITM, FITA team as a whole.
Thank you, sir.
All righty.